The Proteas have been in great form out at the Nations Cup in England, where they are the only unbeaten side. The South Africans still have to face Malawi on Saturday ahead of Sunday's final. To get the latest from the Proteas camp, we've roped in former captain of the Proteas, who now works hand in hand with Coach Jenny, and that is none other than Zanele Mdodana. Zanele, a very, very good morning to you. I know we've woken you up so early. Thank you so much for joining us on Sports on Morning Live.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's a little bit chilly here. We're currently in London. We arrived yesterday. So we've got the week now to prepare for the Malawi match and then hopefully get into that final on Sunday.
We're certainly hoping you'll get into the final. But before we start talking Malawi Saturday and the final on Sunday, perhaps just coming in from that tour to Jamaica, how much of an impact do you think it's had in terms of how you guys have stepped into the courts out in the Nations Cup?
Nothing could have prepared us better than the Jamaican tour. Yes, we didn't win a match in Jamaica, but the lessons, the learnings were immense. We were taught how to elevate, take it up a notch in the match. The environment, the crowd, the energy in that arena in Jamaica prepared us tremendously for what we're experiencing here in England. Also, you know, having that ability to understand that if you're going to compete against a higher ranked team, there's a certain standard that you need to uphold and maintain, and that it's 60 minutes of grinding. You know, it was very good for our players to be exposed to that level, and now they've got a good understanding of what it takes to compete against the best teams in the world. So even though we didn't get the result we wanted in Jamaica, we certainly are a better team by that experience. And we've just taken those learnings into this Nations Cup, and you can already see, you know, the growth and the improvement from our team.
I mean, we certainly can see it, from that dominant opening performance against Uganda to shocking England on their home turf. And I mean, Sakina, you and I were speaking about this off air, just the fact that the commentators were shocked. They just thought it was going to be a walk in the park for England, but the Proteas had other plans. Speak to me about your game plan going into that game. And I mean, we've also seen how the team has been doing with the likes of Marie having to step in Carla's absence, and how well she's been doing. Speak to me about that.
Yeah, you know, Coach Jenny always speaks about accelerated growth. A lot of our players don't have, you know, many caps. Marie debuted in Jamaica. I mean, she has been phenomenal. She really lives true to the word that we are known by, which is we are the warriors, and she's a real warrior. You know that she had also a knock on that nose, but she dusted herself off, got up and did the best that she could, and she's been outstanding for us. For a young player who's coming into the Proteas space, the way she's just grabbed the bull by the horns and is running away with it. She's dynamic, she's fearless, she's hungry. You know, so this is the character traits or the characteristics of the young players that are coming through in our system. I mean, she was just in the under-21 African World Cup qualifiers now, and now she's wearing the Protea on her chest. So extremely proud of what she's been displaying. Yes, you know, I don't think England expected us to fire on all cylinders. They would have obviously watched the Jamaican test series, and England had just also played Jamaica. So they sort of compared what we put out to what they had put out, and they thought that, you know, it would be a little bit of an easier task to beat the Spar Proteas. But the challenge is that nobody knows what is happening behind closed doors. They don't know our mentality. They don't know our objectives, our goals as a team. And that is what's been driving us. You know, we're keeping our eyes fixed on the prize. We're not being derailed by wins or losses. We're focusing on what we know is the bigger picture. And everybody's on board. That's the beauty about it. We were able to just, you know, take the lessons from the Jamaican tour and focusing on what is the task at the moment, and that is the Nations Cup. So we are a very determined side. We are about having a growth mindset, and I think we are displaying, you know, the right signs that we are well on our way to where we want to be come that Commonwealth Games in 14 months, actually, and the World Cup in 2027.
And you speak about growth, and I want to touch on just looking at individual player growth and looking at growth as a team. We look at Akamkhelo Maseko, who for a while was on the fringes, and she just seems to have stepped into this team and fits perfectly like a glove. I mean, her confidence just shines through the minute she steps onto that court.
You know, we always used to say when I was a player that you can be dynamic, but the challenge is the world stage separates the girls from the women, and is very much known.
We can hear you, Zanele. You can continue.
Oh, okay. Gamu is very much known in South Africa, and you know she's the crowd puller. They love her. She's dynamic, but she was tested now on the world stage, and my goodness, has she stood her ground? You know, she's shown her caliber. The type of player that she is, and to think that if she's performing like this, you know, just getting introduced and exposed to the international stage, how much more, how dynamic will she be, having gained so much experience and with many more, you know, matches against the top teams in the world. I mean, she was up against a formidable defensive trio against Jamaica. They're arguably the world's best trio defensively, and after the first game, she realized how tough it is, but her ability to rise in that second game and literally shoot at 95%, only missing one shot, that's a player that is just determined, you know, to constantly put her best foot forward. So I'm really proud of the way Gamu has been growing with every game that she's been playing.
Zanele, we have unfortunately run out of time, but once again, thank you so much for waking up so early to talk to us. We are rooting for you here in South Africa, looking forward to your clash on Saturday against Malawi. We also have Malawi's number, so just call them up on Saturday and say South Africa has arrived.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
That is Zanele Mdodana. She is the assistant coach out at the Spa Proteas, just speaking on the Nations Cup. Of course, the team will go up against Malawi on Saturday, and we're certainly confident that they will make it into the final on Sunday.